Quick question. What knife do you recommend for premium materials between the $100 to $200 price range? I'll wait. Go ahead and pop it in the comment section down below. The reason I asked this question is because this is actually a rather difficult price range to find a truly premium knife in. There are options out there for sure, but usually you have to sacrifice somewhere. So anytime I get a knife under $200 that truly impresses as a premium option, I gotta talk about it. And today we're going to be talking about one such knife from Kansept Knives. Kansept has absolutely been killing it this year, and they've done it once again. Let's go ahead and talk about the Kansept Odd 21. Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in, and if you've been here before, smash the like button on the way in. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny, and today I'm excited because we've got the latest release from our friends over at Kansept, and a big thank you to Kansept for reaching out to me on this one, because this is from one of my favorite knife makers slash designers, Tough Knives. That's right, this is the Kansept Odd 21, and what I would actually consider to be quite possibly the best Kansept knife that I've reviewed this year. Now, Kansept has been really doing a great job of listening to the audience, listening to the community, and coming out with a product that is just really, really well done. And in this case, I think that many people are going to like it. In fact, one of the things that they told me in our communication was that this specific design was one of their most popular, if not their most popular, during Blade Show. It's got some pretty good things going for it. What is it made out of? And more importantly, what does it cost? Well, depending upon which variant of the Odd 21 that you go with, they're going to range anywhere in the realm of $180 to $200. Now, this one is actually on the lower end of that range, coming in at $189. And despite the fact that it's the least expensive version, I actually do think that it is my favorite version of all of the ones that they offer. And that is because this is one of two that actually has 20 CV blade steel. All the other variants are going to be coming with their proprietary blend of herbs and spices known as Damascus. So this one is, of course, 20 CV on this spear point blade. You might also consider this a drop point, but it is what it is. And it has an overall length of about 7.5 inches, 3 1/4 of that being this cutting edge. The blade itself is flat ground, and then we have these really nicely done contoured titanium handle scales with this polished bronze anodized milling in the handle scales as well. We've got these really well done finger grooves right here, and it creates for some very nice ergonomics. Going over to the back side, it's a blind screwed 3D milled titanium contoured pocket clip. It's a frame lock, and that frame lock is going to be locking in and out somewhere about 35%. No surprises here. It is solid. There's no wiggle or jiggle at all. As far as the action is concerned, I will say this: when you get one with the black washed finish, it does take a little bit for that action to break in. But if you want a piece of advice, if you want that to break in sooner, what you do is, while it's in a half open position, just place some pressure on the lock bar and do this for a little bit, and it will actually smooth itself out pretty darn quickly. Yeah, I like that. We've got a half length 3D milled titanium backspacer, which does a great job of protecting the edge of this blade. So action is good. The ergos are great thanks to the contoured titanium that we have here. And also, not for nothing, these finger grooves. This is, of course, where you're going to be placing your index finger when you go to hold this guy, and that's nice. It creates for some really good ergonomics there, and it locks you in directly behind this flipper. Now we have some jimping here, but that is because it is a front flipper, and it's not just a front flipper, it also has a discrete rear flipper as well. So I like that combination. It's not typically a combination we see. I see a lot of front flipper thumb stud or front flipper deployment hole or fuller or rear flipper thumb stud, and so it is kind of nice to have both a front and a rear flipper option. The front flipper does work really good. When you pop it, it fires out with authority.
Respect my authority!
And also it has some great acoustics as well, for those of you who care about that. I'm really digging the aesthetics on this one. I love the way that the contoured handle scales look, and I really enjoy the fact that we've got bronze anode on these hole cutouts right there. It really makes for a clean aesthetic and a very classy pop to that finish. Now, something that is a big improvement, and I don't get to say a whole lot with Kansept, is that finally we have the addition of T8 body screws. So we've got T8 on the pivot and we've got T8 on the body screws, and that's really nice. Now, something that is a bit odd is though, even though we have T8 body screws, the lock bar insert is still T6. And I don't know why that was a decision, but it was a decision. I don't necessarily think that that makes a big difference, because most people really aren't going to be taking off the lock bar insert. I mean, let me know in the comment section if you're someone who frequently does that when you take your knives apart. Do you take out the lock bar insert, or you just got to leave that alone? I know that that's not something that I frequently take off, so I consider a T6 lock bar insert to be kind of, you know, a nothing burger, but I digress. As far as the balance of this knife, it is very well done, and I'm not surprised. Tough Knives is known for some really good looking designs, some very functional designs, and I think that they did an absolutely phenomenal job on this one. Now, that isn't to say that I love absolutely everything about this knife, because there are still a few things that I would like to see changed in the design. The first is that even though we have T8 body screws, we still have a non-captive pivot, and I would love to see that switched to a captured D pivot. That's not something that I'm hugely surprised on. A lot of knives still don't have that, but it is something that I would like to see here. And then the second thing that I would like to see changed is the access to this lock bar. Even though they chamfered out the outside of the handle scale and on the lock bar for comfort, it's not raised at all. It's perfectly symmetrical. And while that looks really good, it means that lock bar access, it just isn't the most comfortable to get in with that lock bar. But all things considered, I really do think the Kansept did an amazing job on this one. And considering the price range that they're coming in at, you have to understand, we've got things like a half-length titanium backspacer, titanium contoured pocket clip that's been blind screwed. We've got a collaboration with a designer who's been releasing nothing but bangers all year long. Yes, Tough Knives has been releasing nothing but bangers, and this is absolutely one of them. I can 100% see why this was extremely popular at Blade Show. And when we talk about $190 price point for everything that you get here, I definitely think that it's a winner. As for the name, the Odd 21, I don't know why they call it that, because this one actually doesn't seem that far-fetched. The whole design aesthetic does not seem odd to me. I love the curvature of these handle scales. It fits really well in the hands. There was thought put into this design as far as comfort and also for cutting ability. Let's bring out the scrap cardboard and see how she does. All right, here I have a piece of Amazon box, which is going to be a realistic cut test scenario. We all get way too many Amazon boxes, so cutting one down would be something that the average Joe would do. Yeah, that is a freaking laser beam. Guys, this is the first time that I've cut with this knife, and I've got to say, they did an amazing job creating some really well done cutting geometry. The factory edge on here is going to blaze through your cardboard regardless. This is definitely one that's going to get the job done, especially if you're looking for a knife that is made of premium materials. A knife maker's collaboration design usually doesn't disappoint, and I know that for sure this one does not. But I'm curious, what do you think of the Kansept Odd 21? Do you agree with me that this is one of their better releases this year? if not their best release this year. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comment section down below. Is this one that you're interested in? If you want to pick one up, I will of course link to it in the description. If you watched this far and you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are very, very close to 10,000 subscribers. But if you just want to watch some more awesome knife and EDC content, feel free to click on one of the videos that pops up next.